Before we start, let us have a prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for the opportunity to learn and grow. Guide our minds and hearts as we engage in this discussion. Grant us wisdom to understand, patience to listen, and clarity to express our thoughts. May this session be productive and meaningful. Bless our teachers, classmates, and all those who support our learning journey. Amen. So, good day, everyone. I hope that you are doing great. So, as we begin today's session, I encourage everyone to actively listen and take detailed notes throughout. If any questions or points of confusion, kindly jot them down in the comment section and we'll address them within this day. Let's remain focused and make the most of this learning opportunity. So, our discussion last time is all about comparison of a marker to a commercial pattern layout. But before we proceed to our topic, let me ask a question. What do you think will happen if someone working in a garment factory doesn't know the terminologies used in the workplace? How would it affect their performance, the workflow, and the overall quality of production? So, of course, if someone working in a garment factory doesn't know the proper terminologies, it can lead to confusion, miscommunication, and mistakes in production. They may struggle to follow instruction accurately, slowing down the workflow and causing delays. Misunderstanding technical terms could result in errors like incorrect cutting, stitching, or assembling of garments, leading to material wastage. So, to avoid all of that, let me tackle our new topic for today. But before that, let me read our learning objectives. So, at the end of the discussion, the students will be able to enumerate at least 10 cutting room terminologies used in the garment production process, to differentiate the type of fabric nap, which is the new, now, and nod, and explain their impact on fabric layout and cutting. Third, cite the importance of understanding and applying cutting room terminologies in the garment manufacturing process. So, our topic for today is all about cutting room terminologies. So, cutting room is where the fabric is prepared and cut into various components that will later be assembled into a finished garment. So there are 27 cutting room terminologies. So first is asymmetrical pattern. This is a pattern for asymmetrical garment, including double-breasted designs and men's shirt, which are not identical on the left and right side. So I have a picture here. So this is an example of double-breasted suit. So as you can see, it is like a wrap where it's not the same from the left and right. So next is a body pieces. So these are large patterns such as the fronts, backs, and sleeves. So they are called body pieces. The next we have chopping. This is an element of the cutting process in which they lay is first section into smaller blocks for more accurate and easier cutting. But as we all know, we have to cut first the bigger or biggest block pattern. The next we have closed marker. This is a marker for cutting materials such as tubular, knits, and some high-end ready-to-wear using half pattern pieces are laid on a vertical fold. So a closed marker, it has a vertical fold. The next we have cutter's ease. So this terminology, it is the amount of space between pattern pieces to allow the cutter the freedom to turn and move the cutting knife to cut accurately without cutting into any other part. So cutters ease, they will For example, they will lay the pattern on the fabric and they will provide space. So inig cut dili, if ever na maditso, okay ra kay dili maditso sa pattern isa, nara siya space. So that is cutter's ease. Next, we have cutting. This is a process of separating a large pieces of material into the individual garment parts that duplicate the pattern pieces drawn on a marker. So next, we have fallout or waste. This is the material between the garment components that is discarded. So, iniguman sa pagkat sa mga pattern na ay mga spaces in between, mo na siya gitawag og fallout or waste. It could be used or it could be thrown away. Next, we have full pattern piece. So this is a pattern for the entire garment component. So the part can be cut on a flat and folded piece of material. Each garment component has a pattern piece. So a full pattern, this is, for example, sa front, so na siya full pattern piece, like nanay left and nanay right. So it is cut into full. And also, for example, for the back, na siya left and right, and then also sa sleeve, na siya left and right. Next is half pattern piece. Pattern for the right side of a symmetrical garment component. So the part can be cut on a flat and folded piece of material. Each garment component is cut on 2 plies of material and some are cut on a fold. So we are mostly using this nga ang half rasa pattern piece. So for example, natay half sa front. So sometimes na i-open ang front. So ang half ra ang ato ang gamiton with the allowance. And then sa back, it's mostly folded kaya aron inig open sa fabric na gikat, mahimo siya masumpay siya. So next, we have lay or spread. So lay or spread has 3 types. The faced up spread is a one-way spread with the wrong sides of all plies toward the table surface. So I'll be showing picture later. The next, face down spread, one-way spread with the face sides of all plies toward the table surface. The next is face-to-face spread, a two-way spread with every other ply face up. So from the definition and in this picture, as you can see, face up means the right side of your fabric is always at the top. So when you are going to file them all of the fabric, so you are going to put the right side at the top, so it means naka-face up. But when you say face down, it is the opposite, where the face is below and is towards the surface of the table. Then when you say face-to-face spread, so as you can see in the picture, the very top of the fabric is facing down, and then the next is facing up. Then the next fabric is facing down, then the next is facing up. So that is face-to-face spread. It's like they're facing together. And we can also say that the wrong side is also facing together. So next we have the marker. So this is a full-scale layout of all pattern pieces to be cut from a single day. So marker means all of the pattern gikat na front, na back, na sleeve, collar, then etc. Next is material utilization. This is a percentage of materials used in a garment component. So they will also calculate how many percent they have used in one garment component, and so that they will be able to determine if how much they are going to use. The next we have the not either way or new or one way either way. So this is a fabric or types of asymmetrical fabric that must be cut with the tops of all pattern pieces placed toward the same end of the lay. But since that they can be cut either way, the tops can be placed toward either end. So this is a type of a asymmetrical fabric which it should be cut depending on the design or the pattern or the motif they have. So I have here a picture of a nap either way. So as you can see, this pattern or the design can be cut either way. So if you will turn it 180 degree like balihon, you can see it has still the same design. So it's fine if the other one is nabali or katunin mo siya pabali. Okay, mo raman hapon ang design. Then next we have not one way or now or one way only fabrics. So this is a fabrics with print designs with a recognizable top and bottom, wool fleece, and some fake fur fabrics that can only be cut with all pattern pieces in some specific direction. So for example, here in a picture, so you can cut this in a one-way direction, because if you will rotate it into 180 degree or balihon mo, syempre ang elephants is mabalik po. So you need to cut them only in a one direction. So next we have a nap up and down or nud. This is also called two-way or symmetrical fabrics. It is called without nap. Plain materials can be cut with the tops of some pattern pieces toward one end of the lay and the tops of others in the opposite direction. So plain materials like plain ra ang iyahang design. So it is one of the example of a nap up and down na symmetrical fabrics. So when you say nap, it refers to the texture or direction of fibers on a fabric's surface, affecting how the fabric looks and feels. Next, we have open marker or on the open marker. This is a marker for cutting fabric parts laid flat on a lay without a vertical fold. So ang closed marker is with vertical fold, then ang open marker is without vertical fold. The next we have paired knot match. This is a cutting procedures used for stripes and checks. Two sections are cut with the same or mirror image pattern so that they match each other but not the adjacent garment parts. The most common use is flaps and pockets cut on the bias. So for example, you have a stripes or checks na sanina, and then you will pair it with a plain flaps or pockets, so it looks different and it has a effect na pa-accentuate sa flaps and sa pockets. So it is paired but not match. So next we have repeat. So this is one complete pattern in the fabric with print or design. It also describes the distance between the beginning of one fabric motif and the beginning of the next identical motif. fabric can have vertical or horizontal repeats or both. So I have an example here. So muna siya repeat. So ang design is repeatedly all over the fabric. So next we have spiked. So this is a process of stacking up the plies on pins or spikes, so fabrics are aligned for cutting. The next, spikes or pins, vertical pins on the cutting table on which stripes, checks, and materials with regular repeats are aligned vertically. So this is a guide to the cutter na if na ay mga design that has repeats, they can align it accurately, then makakat sila the same tanan nga fabric. So next, spreader. This is a machine that spreads the material one ply at a time. So nakita na tani no sa Jaka, they have spreader. So next we have stacking up. This is a process of spreading the material to create a lay. The next is symmetrical garments. So these garments that are the same or identical left and right side. So symmetrical means kung unsa ang nasa right, mao pod ang nasa left. The next, trim pieces. So this is a pattern pieces for small garment components such as collars, facings, cuffs, and pockets. So they are called trim pieces. So next we have trimmings. So this is a variety of decorations and functional trims such as braids, ribbons, belts, thread, shoulder pads, zippers and other fasteners, stay tapes, linings, interlinings, and elastics used to manufacture garments. The next is the usable fabric width. This is a portion of the fabric that can be used for garment parts. It does not include selvages, any soil or flawed areas near the edges, or any excess on plies that are wider than the narrowest ply. So do you have any questions? So if none, so again there are 27 cutting room terminologies, which are asymmetrical pattern, body pieces, chopping, closed marker, cutter's ease, cutting, fold out or waist, full pattern piece and half pattern piece, then lay or spread, marker, material utilization, nap either way or new, nap one way or now, nap up and down or nod, then open marker, paired knot match, repeat, spike, spikes or pins, spreader, stacking up, symmetrical garments, trim pieces, trimmings, and lastly, usable fabric width. So again, what is the difference of new, now, and nod? So new is a type of asymmetrical fabric that must be cut either way, or it could be rotate 180 degree. Then now is a one-way only fabric that can be cut all of the pattern pieces in a specific direction. Then nod is cut with tops of some pattern pieces toward one end of the lay and the tops of others in the opposite direction. So the importance of knowing and understanding cutting room terminology is essential because it ensures clear communication, reduces errors, and improves efficiency in productions. When workers understand terms like markers, spreading, etc., it can lead to precise cutting and minimal fabric waste. So it also helps in coordinating tasks among your co-workers. So, mastering cutting room terminologies contributes to higher quality garments and a more organized, efficient workplace. So that is all for my topic. So I hope you learned something from our discussion. So thank you.